All right, today we are going to be in section 1.1 for statistics. This is dealing with sampling. If you are in Aleks, on the right side of the assignment is the ebook. You can also get there from the site, but I'm going to open it up from within the homework. It takes me directly to that section. And I'm just going to give you an overview and description of each of the terms. So some of what we want to do in this section are describe and investigate the process of statistics. We're going to construct a simple random sample. We're going to determine when samples of convenience are acceptable. Describe stratified, cluster, systematic, and voluntary sample response, and distinguish between statistic and parameters. So I'm going to encourage you to look at the homework problems. There's 12 of them. If you read through and see what you're being asked, it will be easier to help you focus on some of that information as you're going through the textbook. And then in the textbook, you will pay attention to the definitions. And if you read through some of the examples, it helps you get a better insight and see how it's used. But statistics is one of the terms. Study procedures for collecting, describing, drawing conclusions from information. And to give you some example here, we have definition for population and sample. Population, an entire collection of individuals about which information is sought. And then we have a sample, which is a subset of the population containing individuals we observe. So then it tells you what a simple random sample is. So I would encourage just read all of the definitions, write them down so you can have them in a place that's easy to see. And then it talks about choosing a random sample. So read over these examples. All of them are really good at showing you how they draw those samples. You can even generate a random sample with a graphing calculator, and this is kind of showing you the steps to be able to do that. And then we have a sample of convenience. It's not drawn by a well-defined random method, and you'll get some examples of that. And then some problems with convenient sampling. And so that will answer some of the objectives from the beginning of the section. Difference between cluster and stratified. This is important. So in both cluster sampling and stratified sampling, the population is divided into groups. Stratified sampling, a simple random sample is chosen from each group. In cluster sampling, a random sample of groups is chosen and every member of the group is sampled. So that's going to be big and important. Then you have systematic sampling, which is counting like every third person or 1, 2, 1, 2. If you do something like that, every second person, you're just using a system. And statistic versus parameter. So this is one of the big things that you want to know. A statistic describes a sample. So if you take a sample, what you get as a result of that sample is a statistic. If you use a population, so population or parameter is a number that describes a population. So if you use a whole population in the study, the number that you get is a parameter. Both of these look the same. They both do the same thing. It just depends on what you use to get it. Did you use a sample to get this number, or did you use the whole population to get this number? Sample S, statistic S, parameter P, population P. So those kind of go together. And then you kind of see, again, some uses of technology, how to do that, how to do random sample in Excel, if you use the program R and Minitab. So you always get some little hints as far as those are concerned. But that is just a general overview of chapter 1.1 and some of the information that we're going to be seeing. Let's go ahead and jump into Aleks and do some practice problems.